Hebrews 4, 1 to 13. So the warning is for us to not to receive faith, the good news with faith, and so that we will get the promise that God sent to us, and don't ignore it like the people who disregarded God's word without faith. So when we hear God's voice, listen to it. Let's check verse 11. Let us then do our best to receive that rest, so no one of us will fail as they did because of their lack of faith. So I envision God's promised rest to be like having not to labor for food, like having continual fellowship with Him, like that always being in His presence, and like just resting from all the pain and suffering, and just a stop to the curse of sin in our lives. So previously, like when I was growing up, I actually observed the Sunday very closely, and I don't do work. I try to do all of my homework and everything beforehand, and that was really good for me for a while, until I went to college, and then that's when I started to work on Sunday also. Recently though, I've been reminded of that, and I felt convicted, so I'm not doing any work on Sunday. But I do cook and I do clean, but like no like work related, like stuff that will make money or is for money related purposes. Okay, con đi qua làm phòng riêng đi. And so that, and then make sure that on Sunday always start out the day in praise and worship and listening to sermons, and so just being among believers and just thanking God and worshiping God. And that's how I observed the day of rest. What stood out to me in this passage, though, that it was kind of, I hope that there would be a question about it or some clarification, was that it said, right here. It is shown by the fact that God set another day, which is called today. And so, like, so he rested on the Sabbath, and then he created today for us to rest. So when we receive faith today, we enter into his rest. And so that was kind of interesting. I've never, like, that passage or that verse haven't ever stood out to me before. And so I probably would want to read it in the Vietnamese and like different versions and commentary to kind of understand more. But that is very interesting, that explanation of how we got today. And it seems to be another day set by God for our rest. So that is very interesting. Amen.